the Vice President of Imani Ghana, Kofi Bentil, says the 1992 Constitution stands in direct opposition to a bill introduced by government seeking to listen in on private conversations. Speaking at Joy FM's Thought Leadership Forum on the bill, the legal practitioner maintains although security agencies under the 2008 terrorism law can obtain a warrant to intercept communications, the new bill removes the need for the court's permission.
For the period since the Procurement Act was passed, somehow the people who implement it find a way to almost sole source everything. I'm just giving you the point that when people think we are conjecturing and we are being paranoid that this is going to be misused, I can give you many examples of how things like this have been misused. So my point is this: technology does not allow you to do some of the things that are being purported today. Number two, the people who really want to commit crimes will find a way that you can meet them with a law like this. In effect, the effect and the impact of this law is going to be against law-abiding citizens and disruptive against the people who you actually do not want to target for this purpose. Therefore, the only thing this law can do is to enable the persons who want to use it to attack people who are not intended for this law. And if you see where I'm going and you see the interpretation that is put on tampering, you can imagine that journalists, political opponents, civil society activists, and other such people will become the people who will pay for this kind of law.
But Deputy Interior Minister James Agaga refutes the claims, insisting the bill will enable national security effectively deal with crime.
For the bill to be described in such terms as a spy bill, it baffles me, and I would take pains to try to give the justification and the rationale for the formulation of the bill, I mean, in the first place. And so I would start with the supreme law of the land, the 1992 Constitution, and that is the basis, that is the foundation of the bill. And I am happy that so far all the arguments that have been made, including Nana Ado's statement, has not in any way impugned the constitutionality or otherwise of the bill. All the statement seeks to achieve is to label the bill as a spy bill. If it were, I mean, in simple terms, we would be saying that then the provisions in the Constitution, notably Article 18, have been violated. But thankfully, that is not the argument that Nana Ado made, apart from suggesting that the bill seeks to give unfettered discretion to the authorities, to the system, to monitor telephone conversation and to access postal packets, etc.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of the Data Protection Commission, Teki Akwete Falconer, describes the bill as weak and therefore subject to abuse.
If you juxtapose this vis-a-vis the provisions, in fact, if you look at all the provisions in Chapter 25, and if you look at the entire Constitution, looking at the powers given to the executive, Article 83, that also establishes the the National Security Council, where it gives the executive or the National Security Council powers to look at both internal and external securities in this country. You realize that we are, by this legislation, trying to take away that right of the courts. And it's very important that in order to be able to position this within the framework of the Constitution, to just make sure that some of these excesses are looked at.
Now, the National Peasant Farmers Association and the small-scale farmers in Ghana are calling on government to revise the current bill in Parliament to help inherent rights of farmers in selecting and owning seeds for their farming and the African Regional Intellectual Property Organization.
My concern and the concern of the entire farmers, peasant farmers, and then the smallholder farmers as in general, we are calling government to actually look at the bill that is in Parliament, that Parliament is asked to do more consultations and pass the bill. And we are saying that some of the clauses in the bill is not favoring us because we also want something that will protect our right, which is owning our seat. But if the seat is going to be run by, businessmen, then we will then go for our seat that we already own. It will now be owned by somebody, and you will now go and then buy from that fellow. We think that it is wrong. And we are saying that this will allow us to own our seat and manage it ourselves.
Okay, which bill is this?
That's the Plant Breeders Bill that is in Parliament. I'm told that the Speaker of Parliament told the parliamentarians that they should wait for, and do more consultation to many stakeholders before they can now pass the bill. And now that they have not yet done it, we need to know our consent so that if they are going to pass it, they will look at it. And we are saying that the clauses that is not protecting the owner of the seat. If I say the owner of the seat is the farmer, because we own it. And then if they are protecting the breeder, who has gone to the farmer to pick the seed, to go and then breed, then his right is protected. Then what of the owner of the seed? So I am saying that we should be protected. Our rights should also be protected so that we have our own seeds.
Maybe they have think that maybe you, the farmers, can really not control the seeds. Would that be a situation to you people?
No, but how many years are you? And that was the seed that me and you are growing, and we are eating it. How do you think that today I can manage it? I can manage it because as I'm talking to you, I'm about 50-something years. And I started seeing that seed, and I went through farming, and I'm using that till date. How then come that I cannot manage it? I can manage it. Can manage it, of course.
Which of these seeds in particular?
In the seeds in general. Because seeds, if we are talking about seeds, every seed that we use in cropping to make food, that is the seed that we are talking of. We're talking about sorghum, maize, all the seeds.
If government decide not to respond or even take your actions into consideration, what is going to be the effect on farmers?
It will affect us, but I don't think government will not listen to us because we are Ghanaians and government knows our concern. Sometimes, if there could be debates, but government will by all means come to see the right thing, and then I'm sure that government will listen to us.
Your last comment.
Yeah, my last comment is that we are pleading to government that they should, if they are going to pass the bill, the consultation that the Speaker of Parliament requested should come through, so that we'll be part of it and know how it will end.
We are taking a break. We'll return shortly with some business with Emmanuel Abuajiri. Stay with us.